Today I'm going to be making a zucchini and butternut squash soup. Someone gave me a couple of these little small butternut squash and I got to use them up, and I'm going to put them in a slow cooker and I'm going to cook them for a couple of hours. But first we got to get these things peeled. Anyway, just peel your squash with a potato peeler, with a vegetable peeler, and that way you're not wasting a lot of squash. Take a knife and cut it off at the bottom, and then cut the top off. So now we're going to split it. Let me get a spoon here, something to clean this out with. And then we're going to cut it down the middle this way. I guess I should have got a bigger knife. And then we're going to just chomp it up into chunks. And we're going to throw it in the slow cooker. Now we're going to do the zucchini. And we're going to keep cutting until we get down to where the seeds are. Now we're going to add 1 cup of water. That's all you're going to need, because you're going to be pouring it all off by the end of the cooking anyway. And we're going to add a little salt, little pepper. Now I'm going to put it on high, and we're going to cook the squash until it's very tender, like mashed potatoes. And a couple hours we'll be back. Okay, so as you can tell, I've let this cook on low for about 2 hours, and as you can tell, it's really soft and squishy. Now, I also rehydrated some onions and carrots, and I'm going to add those. Let me drain a little bit of water off of this. Alright. Now, we're just going to let this cook and steam for another couple of hours. I know this seems like the long way around, but believe me, it's worth it. And I'm making a little extra so I can freeze some of it. Alright, well, I'm going to close this back up, and I'm going to put it on low, and we're going to cook it for about another hour to 2 hours. Then we're going to use a inverter blender, and we're going to blend her up. Now, before we get any farther, alright, I'm going to add just a dash of basil. We're going to add just a little bit of thyme. You don't want very much of that. That's some strong stuff. couple of shakes of ground rosemary. Just a little bit of dried parsley, and that's just mostly for a little bit of color. And then we're going to put just a tad garlic salt. I don't want a whole lot of that in there either. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and finish blending it up. Alright, then we're going to add, once we get it all blended up, then we're going to add 1 full cup of heavy cream. Now, you can replace this with some kind of broth, like a vegetable broth, a chicken broth, a beef broth, but to me, the cream just makes it creamier, gives it a lot better taste. I don't know why there's such a big difference, but I've tried it with beef broth, I've tried it with chicken broth, and I've tried it with cream, and I like the cream better. And it will almost come out like a light pumpkin soup taste to it. Really, really good. Alright, we're going to turn it on low, and then we're going to cover it back up, and we're going to cover it back up, and we're going to let this simmer for about 30 more minutes, and it'll be ready. Alright, here we go, guys. Now, this is a fantastic fall soup. If you're going to cook it for like closer to Halloween, stuff like that, you can garnish it with a few peanuts on the top of it. This also, oh gosh, that looks good. This is also a fantastic soup for Thanksgiving. It has a light pumpkin taste to it. Now you can also sprinkle some allspice on the top of it a little bit. But what I like to do with it is, if I'm going to serve it for Thanksgiving dinner or a fall dinner, I always just put a few little kernels of popcorn right in the middle. And it just looks really good. And there you go, guys. A great fall soup. And the taste is spectacular. But like I said, you can also use beef broth or chicken broth and put all the other ingredients in it. Just don't put the cream in it. The heavy cream, just use the broth. But man, this stuff is so freaking good. Oh, it's got that really, really strong fall taste to it. That's what I'm saying. It would be fantastic, fantastic for Thanksgiving dinner. I think I'm going to sit down and have this myself. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you give this a try. It is really, really good and really simple.